Hello there viewers, I'm Marc Studd and I've got yet another dose of vital health advice to administer to the good folk of Wigan. Now I'm sure over the past couple of weeks we've all seen the hard-hitting advert of St John's ambulance promotion of first aid techniques. It was shocking enough, I'm not ashamed to say, on one particular night it had me weeping into my box of Maltesers. However, while I agree that first aid is hugely important, I have to urge anyone faced with the task of helping a stricken dying person to think about the possible legal pitfalls. For instance, before you play the hero and perform the kiss of life on an infirm pensioner, think about the possibility of food transfer, a real choking hazard. A pea lodged in between his one molars could get unstuck and is transferred to the windpipe of the frail old dead pensioner. And then you've got the oddball widow on the warpath parading all the way to the civil courtyards for a £500,000 payout. I must say, any similarities this may bear to the stories you've heard recently in the press regarding a Wigan practitioner are entirely fictitious. Ian Coke of Plattbridge has contacted me with an interesting problem about his hearing. Dear Dr. Studd, he writes, in January last year I was involved in a freak industrial mishap at my workplace. Anyway, moving on to the letters, containing partially used gas canisters and a Bic lighter. The resulting blast spot by my grudge-filled colleague, Noel Berry, has left me almost totally deaf and relying on lip reading to follow conversations. However, my wife Una has always had a rather thin, some may say cruel, mouth and tends not to move her lips at all while talking, which to be honest is preventing even the most basic communication between us. I've accused her of making life intolerable, but she says this is just my bitterness talking. What should I do? Let me be the first to offer you my sympathies. It's hard for people to appreciate the impact of hearing loss, as it's a condition that isn't immediately apparent to others. What I suggest is that you start filling in the blanks with what you want to hear. So you can hear all the things you've ever dreamed of hearing, like having the freedom to visit the supermarket at 3 o'clock in the morning, or being told you're opinionated enough to go on Question Time. You know, things like that. Let me know how it works out. Anyway, I've got another letter here from a Ruth Failure in Worsley, who asks about possible remedies for high blood pressure, as she believes her readings are caused for concern. We'll go with a technique an old friend told me a while ago, which was to surgically attach a cheap garden tap or a standpipe onto your lower thigh, and when you become worried about hypertension, the tap is opened and all the excess pressure comes flooding out. I have to mention though, this treatment is not suitable for homophiliacs and may sacrifice a limb at some point in the future. And those pesky infection rates are also very stubborn, believe me. Anyway, that's all for now. So I've been Dr. Marc Studd. Stay reasonably healthy.